Boom!
Boom!
Alive and Derek with my great brother Midas. How are you, Midas?
I'm doing good. You's doing good. So both of us is doing good, and I hope that the listeners who are tuning in are feeling good about themselves also.
Yeah, that's the essence. That's the essence. That's why we come here to unlock our full essence. But that's the essence also to feel good, to feel energetic, to feel to feel our energy. First of all, because that's what I have in the first key we're gonna review together, the 33 keys. The book I wrote in the last year. I've been doing something productive with my time. I've been doing something productive with my time. I decided to write my memoirs, my 33 keys to unlock our full essence, your full essence in the booklet. But yeah, so I've been busy doing this. So today we're gonna be together, me and Midas. And if anybody is interested in joining with us during the reasoning, just comment in the chat. I would join in and I'll just post the link or something like that, or I can send it via email or any other way that we can make it happen is good for me. So yeah, so yesterday, the last time, not yesterday, but the last reasoning we were together, we stopped at key number 11. So today we're gonna keep going with 12, which is energize your being, up your quality of charge. I think up your levels of charge or your quality of charge. Let me just up your levels of charge. But I'm still debating if it's up your quality of charge or your levels of charge. Like, because that's what I say here in the key. After we can exchange on it, Mr. Midas. Uh, uh, why do some beings reach higher levels while others struggle? It sums up to how they manage their psychology, physiology, productivity, plus persuasion technique. That is of utmost important, and I think that's how you get to up your level of charge, because your level of charge will be your level of drive, how driven of a person you are in life, and how much charge also can you take. Upping your level of charge, you don't need to live large to feel in charge. That's the thing. Some people think they have to live large to feel in charge. To feel in charge, it's to be charged then, like you have energy. That's the essence of life. Like, having a big surroundings and stuff, that will take up my energy, because it's going to be very stressful to entertain all this, to keep all this going, the mansion and all this. So I think it's more about the being and how in charge and how charged in we feel inside, and that can certainly be very beneficial for anyone that wants to up themselves. What do you think, Midas?
Well, I think charge wouldn't be the right word. I think it's your consciousness, because the charge is the energy that you receive through breathing the breath of life. So, in other words, I would say it's your consciousness. Or are you going to apply your consciousness to work? Because your consciousness is manifest by the work you perceive outside of yourself. So if you manifest consciousness and you put that consciousness to works, then people will see the reality outside. It's just like music. If if I compose some music and I don't record it that other people can hear my message or what I have to say, then the music mean nothing, because on go to I, it will be reflecting in or out. But if I record that music so I can share it with other people around the world, then it is the works of my creativity through my consciousness, and I'm sharing that consciousness with the music.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's I don't know if some people are shy or like where I think we're a bit afraid to tap into. You use the word consciousness. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with any words. It's not gonna make me have a heart attack to use a word or not or another. But yeah, no. It's I think it has to do with responsibility, or also consciousness could be translated into responsibility. Don't you think also?
Well, that is part of it, but what I'm saying is your consciousness of energy then, or the energy of consciousness. So if you apply the energy of consciousness in what you are doing, and it's positive consciousness, because in everything there is a balance. There is consciousness of negativity, and there is consciousness of positivity. So if we are working on positive consciousness within the energy that we possess within ourselves, the being inside of us, then we are sharing positive deeds through consciousness.
We could we also say that like it's the power of our thoughts. I see that a lot, consciousness, or applying the consciousness, like you say, like applying the power of our thoughts. Like sometimes I've done that. I've thought about something or talk about something, and suddenly it gets manifested into reality. So it's powerful. To think of something is powerful.
It's still your consciousness.
That's it.
Yeah, it's still your consciousness. So it is expanding the power of your consciousness within yourself and sharing it with other people around the world. You know, so that is the greatest essence, our reality that we can really dwell with. And also, consciousness is relating to your spirituality, because spirituality is consciousness, and consciousness is spirituality also. So because what most people talking about spirituality, they don't know what they're really talking about, because they cannot put a definition on consciousness, or they cannot put a definition on spirituality, because your spirituality supposed to be your consciousness, and your consciousness supposed to be your spirituality, and that is the a definition of your energy within you that produce or manufacture these ideals or thoughts that you can share with other people.
Could some beings and experience like a bit of a disruption in the fact that you said directly that definition, that if we're not able to put a definition on something, it's also because we don't feel it? Like if I feel something, like I was talking about the water of the pool and stuff before, and the pool temperature, water pool temperature, well, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, so I'm able to tell you at a certain degree how it feels. So I can tell you a definition because I feel something. So once you start to feel a little bit deeper stuff about life, you able to maybe have your own definition or your own coherency with what's happening.
Well, feeling is touching.
Exact.
You understand? But to defy something, you have to do it by words, because it is written, in the beginning was the word. I am that I am that I am is the beginning of the word. So we have to express what we manufacture inside of us through words so that other people can get a overstanding or understanding or understanding of what we are perceiving or what we manufacture within our consciousness from inside of us.
I find that very interesting when we say, because I say that often. In the beginning was the word, and it makes really big sense for me. No? Uh, but what word exactly was that? Like, how can we know us here? What was the word at the beginning? Like, there's so many lies in this world, deception, and all kinds of nonsense that how can we say what word? What's the word? Like what was the words back then? Like I don't know how far it goes back. Like I don't trust Babylonian.
We cannot deal about back then. We only can deal with what is happening now within ourselves because the word manifests itself within I and I. And whatever language we speak, we express ourselves, our consciousness, are the ingredients of our spirituality and express it from ourselves through words.
But it's hard to conceive for me to imagine that at the very beginning people were speaking words. I think I don't know. It came with I don't know. Did we? I don't, that's the part that's very confusing to talk about because I don't know. I haven't experienced it or.
I and I cannot talk about the beginning, and I and I cannot talk about the end.
Okay,
Because in a universal sense, there is no beginning and there is no end.
makes sense.
It's just religious people come up with those theory.
It makes much sense. I always said the Earth has always been there. Like, why it boop it appeared suddenly one day? No, it's always been. It's not like I don't think there was even like you say a beginning or there's going to be an end. It's always been there. Will always be there. It's us.
Yes,
We're not
yes,
there mentally.
yes.
That's the big tragedy happening.
Yes, in the consciousness of the universe, there is no beginning and there is no end. It's only religious theology come up with those things, telling you, oh, in the beginning it was this, and in the beginning it was that, and it's going to happen, something is going to happen in the end. We cannot live by those are belief system. And true, I don't caught up in belief system. I deal with reality, what it is.
And especially if we talk about Babylon, that's what it is. It's a belief system. It's a system of belief. That's what holds everything in place. Is the belief we have.
Yes, Babylon is a belief system.
You talk about the system. What's the system? It's a belief system. It's the belief you have in your head. That's the
Yeah,
system.
it's a belief that they educate us ever since we're born in this universe as a child. Because what has happened, people that dominate the political and the religious and the economical and the social fabrication of the society, they take their belief and place it on other people. So to have control over them. Because anytime you start to have consciousness differ from what they teach you, they start to get scared, they start to get fear. This is something different creeping on us. So we have to create some kind of fear to let people acknowledge that some kind of fear is coming. That's why most Christians tell you, or more religious organization told you, a judgment day is coming when everything is going to be destroyed. They don't want to tell you that is mankind judges mankind whether it's positive or is negative.
Yeah, and for sure we are. That's it, mankind. Kind. We're supposed to be kind, so it should be about time we show some kindness. So my next key is the 10 drives to reach our full essence. That is, I don't like to say this. I want to take this out of my mouth. It will happen eventually. So anyway, so in the key number 12, that's why I go also with water. I up your level of charge, your energy and stuff. I talk a lot about drinking water, eliminate refined sugars, sleep, the body activity, align with your art, natural healthy foods, uncover your serenity, be eternal, like ether, the ether, eternal. That's a good one. Be eternal. So that's it. The mindset owning, the generating vitality, triumph method building. I explain a bit what, according to my experience here, what I've lived and what I went through. So that's it. But the key 13 is 10 drives to 10 essential attainable human drives. And this one, that one should get to anybody that try to. I think it's to feel more alive. Okay, when I say feel more alive, we're all alive, but we all feel alive, but we don't feel alive enough. I think it's more than being alive. Like where life is more than being alive. So it's okay to feel alive, but it's more than that. So there's something on the other side of the door. So open it. Yeah. So the 5 baseline drive, I go with 5 baseline drive to start and 5 forward drive. So the 5 baseline drive, this is the stuff because Midas, what I think the lie that we live starts by the moment we pretend to know what to do here and how to live when we have no clue. And sometimes, like I had an example right last night here in my neighborhood, animals having party. So that's what happened. So that's why I told Kim, I said, Kim, do not wonder why they need chains and invisible cage. They are animals. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to live, how to behave, and all this. So they need invisible cage. So that's what you have: houses, cars, and all these chains and credit cards and stuff. And anyway, all the stuff to keep the people oblivious to their slave state. So the 5 baseline drive. That's what I was talking about before I go with the slave state. The first is the drive for honesty. I think it's of utmost important to be honest with ourselves. The greatest needle mover in your depth of owning your life is your outlook, the quality of the significance you attach to the occurrences in your life, plus your future. If that is true, it places you in a vital role in life to serve as guardian plus owner of your outlook towards yourself, others, plus the world. What do you think about that, Midas? That's
Well,
I read directly from the book when I read.
yeah, it is very important because that would refer to as human intelligence. How you are going to develop your intelligence to create an environment around your livity so that you can feel free to pursue the best life that you can live and be happy. And the world that we are living in does not teach happiness, does not teach honesty, because when everything is a marketing world. The market lies, the market commercial to manipulate people's mind. The market lies because there's so many lies that we have been taught in our lifetime that it's going to take thousands of years for us to eradicate those lies to create an environment of honesty. Because when you create an environment of honesty, you're going to love your neighbor as yourself. You're going to respect your brothers and your sisters. Then you start to live into the environment of a one love revolution in which you care about people, you have sympathy for people, you deal with love, you live in love, you help each other, you work for the benefit of each other. And we are not living in that kind of environment at this moment.
No, right now we are in a world that everyone is just for themselves, and I find that there's a lot of rage and hate and stuff, and like even on the road, like you don't need to go far. It's only when you have people, probably in the grocery store beside you, that they won't rage because they have you in your face. But if you go on the road, it's not long that they start to rage in their cage, and their metallic cage or rolling metallic cage. So so the rage and the hate and all the stuff, but I think also it comes in the words. Like all the hate, like when we say, like the last time we were together, I think I have mentioned that the love is gone. We say we have to bring back the love, but it's gone in the words. Like we have hate. Like how many words use, like participate, dissipate, like encourage, like having courage, going to the garage, rage, garage, go. All these words that contain the rage and the hate. I think that should go also, like maybe to start thinking of more love and kindness and stuff like that. I think it's in the words also a lot.
Yes, but you see, it's the English language, and the English language is the leading language of mental pollution in modern Babylon.
Big time. You got it.
Yeah, yeah, that's why when you go over the world, e- e- especially in the European world, when I open my mouth and speak, and probably if you go to Europe and you start to speak and you're not speaking French, they are going to say to you, what language are you speaking? Can you speak English? And if you say no, they start to look down on you, because that's the only way they can get through with you. Because if you can speak English, that meant to say you're manipulated by a language already that they can understand. Because remember, the word Babylon means confusion. So it is the system and the language of confusion and manipulation. So that is why, even with the word love, people don't overstand or understand that the word love should be executed in a way of life. People believe that what Babylon has done is tell you that love is sex and loss. So when people caught up in that way, they do not know nothing what the word love mean. So that's why they manipulate you with languages. You know? So we have to use our human positive intelligence to recreate ourselves and our environment and the way we speak and the way we relate to each other as human beings in a conscious state of mind, with love and overstanding and understanding and understanding.
Totally agree. Totally agree. But that takes diligence, vigilance. It's very easy to fall not only in negative patterns, but in distraction. Like distraction. It says it in the word. Like I
to
haven't brought in
distract.
the words. It's a distract. So it's been those are all energy also that can delay your the bringing out of your greatness, of your life work, of your because you. I don't think we should wait for everything to fall on our lap. Let's just start doing something. But each and every day you start, moving out of your cocoon, because it's like we're all in some kind. Me, I see everyone in like a cocoon, a big cocoon, and we haven't break out the shell again to come out in the world, and so we stay in the cocoon and we're shy, and we don't want to break the shell. Like I don't know, I see everyone in a cocoon, but I think the way to break your cocoon maybe is to be that's the second drive in the book here, that key number 13, and it's the drive for proficiency, to be proficient with your life. And what I say as Parker number 1, just have an idea. Determine plus guide your attitude to learn. We all have that drive for competence fueling us. When we feel competent plus apt, the world is ready for us. We boldly set into a different paradigm. We adapt plus learn readily. We transcend or we surmount our fears plus face our challenges to have heightened levels of security. Triumph plus owning. I don't
It,
like. I'm not using always end owning, because it's like end. There's no end. Plus, like it's more positive. Plus this, plus that. So yeah. So I think proficiency, becoming a proficient, like very efficient but proficient. I prefer proficient. What do you see in there?
yes, I accept proficient. I think is a good word. And it's up to us to change words. It is up to us to, as I say, create an environment in which we can clean up our mental cup, because we have to escape from the human from mental darkness that suppress the true growth of us in an intelligent way, or in a conscious way, and in a spiritual way. We have to find a way to escape from that, so we can rebuild ourselves as positive human beings.
Yeah, and being proficient for your life also will probably prevent a lot of depressed feeling in your life. Like sometimes we feel depressed also because we're not proficient, we're not owning ourselves. We're like, and depression, I'm not talking about the clinical depression. I'm talking feelings of life, like having low highs or low lows. Or me, I have low highs, but some have low low. Me, I'm more in the high range, but sometimes I have low highs, like I don't know, but I'm always like but I don't know. Sometimes it just goes like a bit. I take pauses or something like that. I don't know how to say it, but I think the essence is to stay positive. Whether like you plan for a real challenge and you stay positive and you go at it, and that's it. And at one point, uh, but if you stay quiet, if you stay like in your room quiet, you don't explore the world and other beings of the world, I don't know what can happen for you, but I think you should be more in action or something like that. Yeah.
I think we should read the changes of times and the energy of times, because sometimes the universe is up and sometimes the universe is down. That's why you have day and night. Night is to cool you down and relax, although some animals, when it's our night is their day, and when it's our day is their night. But we shouldn't take feeling up and down as negative. We should just, when you're feeling down, as how they want to tell you in the English language, is a way of relaxing yourself, to be relaxed, you
Exactly.
know? And when you're feeling high, is when you're using your mind, when you're using your consciousness to be creative. So most time when people talking that they feel down, they don't realize it's time for you to relax. Relax your mind, relax your activity with inside of you, with inside of you. So Babylon take all these things and put it in educational way and carry psychologists and all them things come telling you, oh, I'm feeling stressed out. I say, why you feeling stressed out? Blah, 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 blah. When it shouldn't be like that. You should have the understanding to know that just like how the universe change at times, we must change with the universe within ourselves. So sometimes rain is falling over there, sometimes the sun is over there. Nothing don't wrong with that. So sometimes we are sweating, sometimes we're not sweating. Everything happen for a wise purpose and for a reason. So in my own discovery, when your system feeling like they want to tell you say it's down, it's not really down, it's relaxed. Your system need to relax and you to adapt to it and be relaxed.
Yeah, and I love when you said everything happened like you say, not it's not random. And some like the other day, I was just taking a walk, and here it's very very windy sometimes, and that's what Gavin, my son, was telling me. He said it's very windy always here, but I said, look at it, it's very very positive in a way, because at that time when it's windy, like in spring, it's always very windy, the trees blow their seeds around at that time, and the pollen and all that, it pollenize the trees. And most people would say, fucking it's windy, or it's like they get very upset by it sometimes, because everything blows around or things like that. But I think it's very useful. Nature takes care of itself. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, the universe is working,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's working properly. But yet still mankind don't try to understand or overstand or understand what the universe is. Because look at it. In early spring, the wind have to blow off the old leaves and the cobweb from the tree and all these things. You know? That's why you have winter. The energy of spring mean the energy of growth. Things have to start rebuild and regrow themselves again. So we are not living with the season of the universe. The bird is smarter than us because they live with the season of the universe. You can watch all the different birds that enter your facilities or your community in different time of the year. Mankind is so polluted in his thinking because he has manufactured so much negativity in his inner self that he is not respecting the universe and is not living in accordance with the universe. Live with the laws of nature in accordance with the universe, and you will understand and overstand and understand what the universe is, and you will know more about yourself. Who are you within this universe as a living being?
Exactly, because we all have a rightful place here. It's not, like I never felt like I'm not home. Like we like my home is not Mars, it's the Earth. And I feel very much at home here, very comfortable, very like there's no fear, there's no like you try to eliminate to not employ those feelings of fear and stuff while you go through your journey on Earth, because it can certainly dim your energy. So that's for sure. And that's the next one. The next drive in my 5 hour baseline drive is the drive for coherency. And in this one, I talk about standards upping, add new high standards for oneself, because how we perceive ourselves, again, plus how we behave in the world is the stuff of coherency. one of the most powerful drive that we have as beings, to live in persistent alignment with whom we know we are, how we prefer others to remember us, plus whom we want to become. Coherency can be positive or negative. It's positive when we have a good sense of worth, high standard, plus aligned with our vision of higher standards for life. It's negative when we think small of ourselves. You remember, he can be very coherent negatively and positively. So we have to be careful. And that's it. Introspect to perceive more of yourself, plus request that our action be coherent with the best of whom we are, plus whom we can be. And I think with that, like it goes further. It's a very, but it's like 3 sparker per drive. I give the drive and then 3 sparker to spark the greatness within. Yeah, but yeah, coherency, new standards for oneself, higher standards. Rest Midas.
So what is the meaning of currency? What would you describe it as in literal English?
Literal English for me, coherency would be the alignment of your thoughts, action, and speech
Like to correspond with your
with your
action,
original state, if you want to say it
with
like.
your to correspond with your original state of mind, to tap into your original state
Yeah,
of being,
yeah,
to exercise the ability that you have inside of you and put it outside of you.
that's it. Certainly like that.
Yes. Well, we living in Babylon do not have access to those kind of education. Now, it is very wonderful that you get into your being to look into words and bringing them out into a volume of books so that people can read and learn a better overstanding or understanding or understanding about themselves in a form so that they can put it to practical works. And this is very important. Growing up, I used to hear these words: practice what you preach and be an example to those you teach. So if we practice positivity in our lives, how we, because I want to say this thing. You was talking about house. Mankind is the house. People believe says the building or them yard them living is the house. We are the house. I and I is the house. You know? It's like Melchizedek was saying to some of his disciples, like probably 15,000 years ago. They translate it and put it in the Bible and talk about Peter and rock and all those things here. Is Melchizedek was saying, you are the house. You are the house, and within the house is all the environments that you need to perceive or to tap within yourself. Because anywhere you go in the world, you are carrying yourself with you. So you are the house. And the gates of negativity cannot build up inside of you if you build the gates of positivity within yourself. So if you have that gate of positivity, negative energy cannot overcome who you really is. So it's time for us to learn to correspond, or you call it the currency, the resources within yourself. That's why they use paper and coins and telling you that is currency. That is not currency. That is to use materialism to take you away from the real currency in yourself, because the energy and the resources is within yourself, which is the house.
Yeah, and currency is also the current in the sea. That's the energy
Yes,
of the water.
yes, the currency in the sea. That means to say, well, then, is the energy within I and I self.
Yeah.
So what has happened? We are living in Babylon material world, where they only teach you about the material things. They couldn't teach you about the spiritual things, or the positive things, or the consciousness, because they do not have those consciousness within themselves. They have the consciousness to exploit and to rearrange things within I and I. And when we're trying to clean up our cup and rebuilding ourselves, because when it is written, let us make man in our own image. What is it talking about? We have to rebuild ourselves. But people take it a different way. People say, oh, is a great man named God was taking up some clay and make an image and just blow into it, and then living man come in existence. Those things are religious theory. It meant that you have to rebuild yourself, rebuild your house, use the currency inside of I and I that coexist, currency coexist within I and I, which is the resources of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding or understanding to create or recreate yourself in a new form with better with a better knowledge. Sorry, with a better knowledge of who we really is or who you really are, so you can coexist with other human beings and this universe, so you can create harmony.
Yeah, I like it, and I like when you said something like coherency, co-ear, and that's really how I wrote it. It's co-ear and C, like
Yes,
SEE, co-ear
yes,
and C.
yes. You have to see what exists within yourself to correspond with what you have within your house.
And
To use the platform that you can create from your house to create your environment of liberty.
that should be probably the most important word. If I would have to write my own dictionary, that would be the one word in bold letters in the beginning on 3 pages wide would be coherency.
Yes,
Coherency.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
once you
You
reach
listen to
that,
those words in syllables: co, hear, and see.
yeah,
Those are three important words. You have to learn to hear, right?
yeah,
You have to learn to see. You have to learn to coexist.
exact. I like this. That's what you said. I forgot when you said it, but coexist. That's it.
Yes,
And
yes,
I think the Sparker too, and that question of coherency and our coherency question. There's another Sparker, very important. It's gauge your coherency. Gauge your level of coherency of how you behave in life, plus how you deal with your feelings. It's our feelings. If our feelings are all over the place, then we don't feel there is coherency in our internal world. Frequent mood swings beyond our diligence, driven by others or occurrences, can make us feel down. Similarly, when we feel one way, then act another, say we're sad, but always forcing a smile, then our external coherency feels up also. So the
yes.
honesty and the coherence is so important. Like you don't want to put a smile on your face, but then form your face also. Like don't be fake.
Uh, Not a plastic one, not a hypocritical one. Not because you see a person you don't like. you put plastic smile on your face to take off your fear. You know, there's a word you use there named mood swing.
Yeah,
Those
mood
things
swing.
are hacked in. Hacked in. That's not reality. You know, people that have mood swing is only fooling their own self. Because people can be a fool to their own creativity, to you create foolishness within yourself. You act it out on other people and believe you're intelligent or those things. When people come to me with a mood swing, I say I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. Oh, you know, I said, if you know you have mood swing, you can make adjustment to it. You see? It's like the word you use, the gauging.
Gauge your coherency. That's it, exactly.
Yes, it's like if they don't, the manufacturer build a car. If they don't gauge the engine right, the engine is not going to hack or perform at a high level. So I and I have to learn to gauge the engines within ourselves so we can hack properly.
Yeah. And
So we
after,
can be polite with honesty with each other. We don't have to pretend or pre-9 or pre-8 and we want to use the word pretend. You know? Sometimes it just people say, you're not pretending there, you're pre-18 or you're pre-9 in it, don't mean anything to I. Just be yourself and no one else. Be honest with yourself.
exact. Just be you. Just be you. The world will adjust. Even if you change some words or there's stuff in the world that doesn't fit your how you see it, just speak it out. Speak it out, and other beings are just delighted sometimes to hear what you have to say about the experience you're having here. So it's worth it to share for sure. And I
Yeah.
think that's the sparker number three a bit in that drive, which is one the probably I say one of the most important drive is the one for coherency, and it's find your words plus follow through. Okay, the sparker number three, find your words plus follow through. What I'm saying is living from the intent that your word in the world has significance. Other beings might be inspired to go forward by their sense of kindness, strength plus serenity. A great starting point to improve our quality of life, plus adding a deeper sense of coherency. Beings correspond to the world based on the words of others. That I'm sure you can recognize. Words matter. Words can produce pain or can inspire joy and serenity. What becomes powerful is observing that over time, our words come to reflect whom we truly are. They either hurt or help the world. Coherency isn't just in doing what we say we will do, but in doing what we know we should do from start to triumph. Boom!
Yes. That's why you have to let your words manifest in works. Because when I see your works, I see your words. That's why I put it this way. If I know a man is a liar, right? And he tell me a lie, I don't have to tell him that he tell me a lie, you know. See? I know that he lie inside of him first before he lie to I. And if a man, sorry, speak the truth, I don't have to tell him that he speak the truth. He know that he speak the truth, and I know that he speak the truth. I don't have to tell him to go over to speak the truth. So is what correspond with the works or your activity that you cultivate outside of yourself really is the identification of who you are as a person, because it's not the word you speak, is the works that you can perform from the words. That's how your words become a reality. You know, your words only can come a reality when you put the words to works.
Exactly. Match that with a bit of action, and you should be in business. Yeah. The other drive after is the drive for caring, and I think we care, but we care about washing the cars, the scrub mania, the wash mania that we're all pretty much stuck in, like washing our house, scrubbing our house, cars, and like I don't know. But that we have no problem caring for stuff like that when it's time to show off that we care. But I think just to resume a bit what I'm saying by the drive for caring, start the good stuff. the stuff that comes out in the moment. But as I think I know, life is a one-time deal. If therefore there be any kindness I can show, any serenity I can grow, or any good purposeful deed I can do for any fellow being, let me do it now, neither deferring or neglecting my duty here. The ability to care plus having others care for us is a sentient strength. Caring permits us to be nurtured. Caring guides us to enlarge love, empathy, kindness, forgiveness, plus altruism with others as we major. Humans are hardwired to enlarge care for others. But some of us have been cut off from our feelings, plus mental functioning in a way that blocks or prevents us from giving care. What do you think?
That is very
I'm honest.
important. That's a very important part of your book,
Yeah.
because let us take the word capitalism. If you believe in capitalism, it will manipulate your mind or your thinking to just to just care for capital, right? And so when that capital control your psyche, you're not dealing with yourself. You're not dealing with caring. You're not dealing with sharing. You're not dealing with compassion. You're not dealing with love. You know, you're not dealing with loving your neighbor as yourself. You're not caring about the well-being of your brother or your sister that is in need, because everything is a capitalized thing. Like the word democratic, the word demo. We know what demo mean. The word demo mean that is not the real thing you're getting. You understand me? Because when I make a demo tape to go to a record company or a distribution company, I am not giving them the real thing yet. I am just giving them a demo because it's an idea for them to listen if they like my idea. But the virtues is not in what I give to them, it's just a demo for them to listen. So that's why in this world we have democratic capitalism. That's what we're living in, you know. Demo, listen, demo, capital, democratic capitalism, right? Demo is not real. To capitalize is not real, because all of them is to exploit human energy and human sovereignty within yourself, so that other people can always be feeding off the works that you have created. Is like vulture. picking. But people don't look into those kind of words because everybody is drunk, mentally drunk with the alcohol that Babylon is drunk in them. You know, it's like there's a song that I did named "Hole in the Bucket." Part of the lyrics there said that Babylon give you a 6 for a 9 and drunken you with the bad wine. You know, it's a bad education and a bad teaching to make you have more interest in capital and let you have more interest in demo than having more interest in the virtues of yourself and in the virtues of other human beings when you could come together as human beings with positivity and create a positive environment. I know the negative part have to be there, but we can transform ourselves from the negativity. I know that negative human being is going to be over there, you know, but I don't have to be like them because everything is a learning tree. Because listen, when you put your hand in fire, why you have feelings is that when the fire burn you, deep down in your psyche, you know that, oh, the fire burn, it hurts. I am not going to put my finger in there again. It's just like the system, the negative part of the system, when it burns, and people is burning their finger right down, and they not realizing more than complaining. And the only thing we can do is make the necessary change to care for each other, to love each other, to help each other, to work with each other to solve problems. But everybody get caught up in the democratic and the capital. Because that's what Babylon world is in, you know, democratic capitalism. So you see, when the politician come to you and separating you are the religious leaders. Oh, I am not like communism. I am democratic capitalism. The religion come and say, I am not like the people who worship on Saturday. I am different because I worship on Sunday. And when you say to, you understand? And when you say to them, what are you worshiping? Oh, I am worshiping the Almighty God, right? But it is written, they speak about me so much with their mouth that their word is far away from comforting in their brothers. Because listen, comforting your brother, sharing with fellow human beings, in communal spirit and energy and working with other human beings is that create the energy of the creator that live within you. So they speak about so much that their works and their deeds is far away from the reality of their speech.
So they are very coherent negatively. Exact. But I
Yes.
like the demo, eh? The demo you were talking about was during the time you were talking, I was writing all kinds of stuff. And demon, the word demon also, like demo, demolish, demonize, but also fashion in English, okay? Fashion, which is a fascist, like the word fascist, fasci,
Yes.
fashion,
Yes.
fashion, you have the shun in there again. But
Yes.
fashion in French is mode. Like you use mode in English. For us, fashion, c'est la mode. And
Yes.
I always found that weird to follow fashion. Like that's something I've never been really into. But if you take the word mud is demo, but it's just like they play with letters to make words. But
Yeah.
it's the same word, just place the letter differently. So, and also you have the word dome,
Yes.
dome, like
Yeah.
some. beings say that there could be a dome over us, and that's why also there's so many monuments built with domes over them, and a religious monument with the dome, and the dome in the word like kingdom, the kingdom of Jah, the dome. So what's that dome also? I don't know. There's a lot.
Well, it's because people is not looking into the word that they're speaking. People just speaking because you know what happened? People is so caught up in the everyday works and hustling to survive that they don't have time to look over things and think about themselves within themselves because they get caught up with everyday survival. So if we was living in an environment where you're not thinking about everyday survival, people will have more time to go into themselves and to look into themselves. That you see, that's what university supposed to be. But we are not living into a system of university. It's a uni blind. It's to keep your consciousness blind. It's just like the word demo. It's not the real thing. You know, it's like the word capital. Capital. You know, if you look at it, the capital of a country, that is where all the manipulation goes on. That is where the Pharisees and the scribes come together to manipulate people's mind. And yet still it is written to beware of the Pharisees and the scribes, because they love to stand at the street corner with their loud mouth and polish, saying of hypnotism, and they love to go into the synagogues. You hear the word synagogues with their long prayers to be heard of men. So it's only men hearing those prayers. See? Because all of them is a den of thieves. So we allow ourselves to be hypnotized by the den of thieves in the capital. You know? Controlling our mind with the demo.
And that's wherever country you go, I think there's always a capital. Like that's what people refer to, especially in English. Mais la capitale, c'est la même affaire en français. Same thing in French, capitale. I
Yes.
don't know what it is in Italian or Spanish, but it should be close to capitalo or something.
Capital or
Oh,
what
I'm
they want
sure
to
it
have it.
has to do with something like that.
You know? But you just realize
Yeah.
this word capital is the word mean a den of thieves. You know? Because those are the places where the head of church and state meet. How to demonize and fractured the free consciousness of other human beings so that they can have control over the population. And when they finish, they give you a note or a piece of coin, promissory notes, telling you that hey, this is money. And if you don't have the capital to exercise your right to exchange from your goods, you cannot exist. We're not going to give you no goods unless you have the coins and the paper of the capital.
This is very true because you go at the supermarket, any local farmer, anyone wants money. Like to buy anything, you need money. Like you're rarely gonna go see the market guy and say, "Listen, can I trade you my time for some veggies and fruit?" He's gonna say, "Bro, I already have employees or stuff." Like,
Yes, yes, because there was a time when I could trade my pumpkin for a apple.
yeah, trading. Yeah,
You know that is the real trading. It's called bartering. But when Babylon come into existence, he control all the food and then print up some little kinds and put some whole king and some whole priest for the money, and is the capital. It's to control you. See, it starts with C, Capital is part of controlling you, and then manipulate your mind with the demo. And each politician is two sides of the coin, whether it's communism or it's capitalism or it's the democratic or what they have it. Is it said everybody is together manipulating people, and they're acting each day like they're fighting against each other, because you know why? They don't care about us. They don't care about I and I. So it is time for people to get off of their mental slavery and start for us to join hands and heart together and look into the different ways we can come up with an environment of positive movements of life, when we can let love be a way of life and start to work together and share together, to make it be a new day. Because the new day is not going to happen unless we create the new day.
Exactly.
No religious leader is not going to create the new day. There's no special God is coming from outer space or from religious leader from some hiding place is going to come create a new day for us and tell one set of people that you is goat and tell the next people that you're sheep. We have to be the own shepherd of our own environment. It is up to us.
So the base of this ball system is capitalism. So that's why there is baseball cap. Baseball capitalism.
Yes.
I see it.
Cap.
See very clear. Baseball cap. That's what it
Yeah.
signifies.
Yeah, it's to control.
Yeah.
It's to control your upper heavens here. It's to control your heavens. Because plenty people don't realize that heaven is on themselves. They believe it's somewhere else. I and I have to create our own environment of the real heaven. We have to eradicate ourselves from the hell, the demo.
The demon, and in French, the
Yes.
word world is monde, and monde is demon.
All right.
So it's even in the French English are very similar anyway. Next drive is the drive for communicative abilities. We're still in the 5 baseline drive to start knowing what to do here. Feel more alive. It seems a lot to start knowing what to do on Earth. Yeah. So the drive for communicative abilities, and I write abilities with the E's, E-A-Z-E. The abilities. Like it should not be something that you struggle or sweat or break a sweat or something. It's an ability. You should be at ease, and especially when it comes to communicative pattern. I don't want to use communication, so I found a way to wriggle the phrase, the stance, to get the communicative in there, communicative abilities. Yeah, and I think the first sparker is in view plus nurture your ideal acquaintances. In view your ideal acquaintances and nourish it, and like that's why I come here with you. I like that acquaintance that we have together, and I like to nourish it. And it's not to show off on YouTube or anything. It's just a medium that we use to have a hangout, but also others can profit from it. So yeah, at the same time. So that's why it's in the tube. Yeah. So in view plus nurture, that's it. If acquaintances have a big effect on your levels of joy, then the effect of your tight bound relative are a large attribute for your state of being. An area that might influence your life joy could be your vibe with your spouse or children. True, true. When you rise with love, you feel a deep serenity, plus a solitual article joining with beings that you are supposed to be with in that present time. The struggle to form deeper, plus more powerful joinings is worth your strive. If you fall to forge enriching joinings in life, then what's life's purpose? Like what? Live in a cave? In the forest alone? Like, it's good. Sometimes I say to myself, that's when I need a place in the forest alone, so there's no noise. But I love other beings also. So no, but sometimes it's just sometimes, like I say, like I lived it yesterday, the animal behavior type human. So yeah, it's just that if the neighbors are know how to behave, it's different. But if they're like they behave like animals, it's a bit annoying, and yeah, in that sense. So yeah, so what do you think drive for communicative abilities? How would you approach that to kind of have a bigger sense of it for yourself? Because I'm sure you have reached that communicative abilities, especially you went on stage many times. Like, you're older than me too, so you've been around for a while on Earth, so you have faced occurrences in life where you were not so comfortable maybe as a communicator. Now you by doing it more and more and more, you become more with your at ease with your abilities, right?
Yeah, well, is obtaining knowledge, you know. Reading is very important. I'm not saying that everything that I read is positive, but when I read, I can choose in a simple way um, what is true and what is not true. I can observe what is fake and what is not fake, because we're born into a world of fake news. So what I have done, I have accumulated many different volumes of books from within the present times and within ancient times, and listen to other people that have more experience, more than I, so I can learn from them how to rebuild myself. And my journey started from like I was about 16 years old. And from that, I learned that communication, or to communicate, is very important. And acquainting myself with other people of the world is very important, because I am a Rastafarian, not in a religious way, but in a way of life. Because my Rastafarian philosophy is a way of life. I'm not dealing with religious part. I don't need religion in my life. But going to different parts of the world, meeting different brothers and sisters, listening to what they have to say, digesting their ideas, help to build my confidence, not the confidence, my confidence within myself, that is not I alone have the said ideas. Other people from different parts of the universe have their ideas. And if we could come at the table of ideals, as Bob Marley would sing and say, put my cards on the table. It's putting your ideas on the table of decisions, where we can make decisions with ourselves, with different other brothers and sisters from around the world. This is how we're going to make the forward step to create a new environment, to create a new world, because people believe that the world is the universe, but the world is the environment that mankind created for himself or within himself to be acquainted with each other, or to communicate, or to communicate with each other by using, because when you're building a house, it's different materials you have to use to build the house, to let the house be a complete house. So if we're going to build a new world, a new environment, we need different ideas or different philosophy from different people around the world. So that helped me to communicate with brothers and sisters within music and within live performance. Because anywhere I go in the world, I can make myself relate to my brothers and my sisters. I have an overstanding and an understanding and an understanding what they are going through. Because you cannot hungry stand up under a mango tree and imagine how the different fruits taste. You have to taste different fruits to know the texture. So I have to deal with other human beings to know what is your idea, what is your feelings about these things. And I get to really come to the conclusion that human beings have the said knowledge about how things is working different from I. So that's why I can know that this world that we live in, sorry, we are going through this said struggle. Struggle to learn, struggle to make a change, struggle to let the positive deeds become a reality in our life as human beings. Because when you get acquainted with other human beings and to know the joy in it, when you and them share the said ideals, that is how love become a way of life. And it's such a uplifting movements within ourselves to know that we come to this table of decision with positive ideas we can put together and work together to recreate an environment in which we accept and respect each other as human beings.
No, very well said. And I like what you said about the power of decision. Like, that's one of the. I talk about that in the book, The Power of Decision. You know, some beings can't even decide what they're going to eat for lunch. So it goes far. Saying deciding to decide is a big step forward in your life, but it should be something you start looking at and up to having different possibility or choices to make for your life benefit for sure. But that's it. It's something I think that you harness your power of decision daily, right?
Yes, that's why music is very important to I as an artist who write, because I am writing from the reality of what of human consumption, a human mental evolution around the world. There is a song, no man is an island, no man stands alone. No man is an island, no man stands alone. As soon as you be by yourself, you're going to realize and find out that you're going to need someone else. You know? That's why in this world that we live is not one kind of human beings. And we have to learn to respect other human beings as they respect us for the quality that we all possess. And if we can accept the quality that we all possess within ourselves, then we can learn to respect each other. We can learn to work with each other because we can really realize that we are no man on an island and we don't stand alone. We need each other to work together to make it be a reality.
It's a bit when I'm bringing in Sparker 2 and 3. Sparker 2, I say practice positive vision. One of the Midas of all collective truths, you reap what you sow. In projecting positive traits onto others, you will notice those traits many of times. The challenge is too many of us are too guarded or cynical. So the 3-pound thought organ in our skulls start looking for trouble. Yeah. Other beings' fault becomes the scope on our collective scanning. Over time, we stop seeing others' strength, plus see only their weaknesses or behavior that could bother or hurt us. So viewing the word and the world, the word and the world, I put it into brackets, the L in there, with a negative lens has more tragic effect than you could likely fathom in your most wildest imagination. So yeah, so transporting the laser beam of optimism into your collective might be the best thing you could ever do to start feeling fresh or present for humanity. Okay? One powerful result of positive viewing, you stop viewing others as obstacle or competitors. You view them as teammates or to value your opponents on the road of life. And that's very true because once you start opening up, you see that people just want mostly to aid you. Like they're very rare that, okay, many really acquaintances that I've had on YouTube have turned sour, but not all of them. Like it depends on the being also. Depends on, yeah. So, yeah. So I think practice positive vision and up for nurturing growth with others. Like nurture growth with others. Very important. Each one teach one, right?
Yes, I accept that. You see, one of the you see the problem is we are living in the swamp of Babylon. Are we living in the barrel of Babylon? And there is so much ism and schism, especially because racism teach people to hate people so much and to stop respect and accept each other, you know. So when you're living in the swamp of Babylon, covetousness, resentfulness, you don't learn to forgive. You know, we don't know the meaning of forgiveness. And so people carrying their chips on their shoulder from much hundreds and thousands years ago, and they are not putting it down to say, let I talk to Tru-Mon, let I have a word with Tru-Mon, because it's a different day now and it's a new day. Let I hear what Tru-Mon have to say. Let I have a little time to do less talking and to listen. Because a person who talk too much is only listening to him own self or herself. He's not listening to what other people have to say. Because if you having a conversation with the next person and they are not giving you time to express or to deliver what you have with inside of you, or what you hear from the other person, that's not a good idea. And that is the problem today. We are not taking the time to listen to our neighbors. We are not taking the time to converse within ourselves and within our home. Most people don't take the time, especially men, don't take enough time to listen to the female, because we're born into a world and a system where female don't have anything to say, because as according to them, God make man to be head of woman. And those religious destructive things has caused mankind to stray from him real self. Because listen, it take one male and one female to be a complete man. Plenty people don't realize that. When it is written and say, let us make man, it don't mean male alone, it means male and female. So if we cannot have peace and we cannot have love with our female companion or our female part of humanity, we cannot go there in the world and talking about unity. We have to unify ourselves first with our female partner before we can go out in the world talking about unity. And then it comes down about preference. Oh, I prefer African more than European, and I prefer Asian more than that. There should be no preference, because every tree in the vineyard is important to the forest. So when you're going through a forest, every tree in the forest is important. And soon as you come up with the mentality, you see, mentality is different from itality, you know. Mentality is Babylon business. Mentality. Because when you become a man, use not one again, use more than one. Use negative and positive mix up together. But when you're dealing with itality, you're dealing with the I am that I am that I am within I self. You know, I am the man, I am the word, I am the life. So when you're dealing with it was three I steps within the itality of I and I, we can listen, adore, feel joyful within yourself that I can reason with free man. Because where I and I is dealing with today, it's called reasoning. Reasoning. Midas don't know everything about everything. And I'm not saying that I am more educated or more intelligent, more other human being. Because you know what I learned? My grandmother teach I from a young age that the fool is intelligent in his own self, and a wise man is foolish in his own self too. So when the wise look upon the fool and thinks that the fool is intelligent in his own ways, or want to describe them. You know? But the man who propagated to himself and exalted himself, that he is wiser than the man who he claims is a fool. The wise man become a fool of his own doings. But when because sometimes, you know, they say a man that cannot read English. Look at it. They say a man that cannot read English is a fool. But he's only a fool because he cannot read English. But he's wise in his own way and his own doings. That's why it is written, you know, he that exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. You know? So people have to be careful in the way we interact with each other. Because when we travel around the world and we meet different people, we start to discover how people are intelligent in their own way. You know, you might go to China, and through China deal with the ICEP of Confucius then. You say, oh, I cannot deal with it because I am saved by the Lord Jesus Christ, and I don't want to deal with that. You go to some part in China, some people deal with Buddha. Oh, I cannot deal with Buddha because Buddha don't wash in Jesus' blood and sanctify. You understand this? Or he's not a Christian. Or you go to India, you meet some people who deal with Hinduism or Krishnaism. You don't want to deal with them because their philosophy is different from your own. But there's no difference if you just listen to what they have to say, because they are intelligent in their own way, in their spiritual entity that they have within themselves. And if you just listen, you got to find out, say, oh, he speak the said language and have the said ideas like I, is only because that I speak in a different way. Because I travel the world and I meet a whole lot of people, I could say them is Rastafari. Because they have this said philosophy that I am dealing with within myself. They are not saying that they are Rastafari, but they have the said ideals. That's why I'm saying the time must come when we come to the table of decision and put down our ideals so we can put it together and make it all right.
Yeah. I like what you said about listening instead of speaking. And there's something that I've heard before. It's listen twice more than you speak. I think also over time, you're going to come to maybe listen 10 times more than you're going to speak. Eventually, if you keep listening twice more than you speak, eventually that will be transformed into listening 10 times more than you're going to speak. Because today, I know the words are messing with our eyes, mesmerizing us, is messing with our eyes. So I don't want to speak words of English too much. And then I turn around in my brain and I have French and I see other nonsense. So I don't want to speak too much words anymore other than coming here. But I warned you that I'm aware of all the words, maniac, Babylonian stuff. But we have to be communicative. So we use words. But honestly, I think at one point when I'm at your age, I will listen 10 times more than I speak.
You know why? You know why I listen more? Reading is listening. Because if you pick up a volume of book that a next man write with knowledge, is listening, you're listening to his idea.
That's listening to them. Okay.
Yes, listen, it's not directly a person have to come naturally and speak like how me and you is talking to each other. That's why I say reading book of knowledge, reading books of wisdom is very important to stimulate your mind, to stimulate your consciousness. But if you go into a cave and believe, say, well, then you know everything. It's only you and that cave. You have to come out and listen to the birds sing. You have to come out and listen to all the different sounds of creation. You know, to really realize is not you alone is the most important entity that living on this planet Earth. So it's good to listen, especially listen to your female part of humanity, because she is very important in uplifting I as a male to the highest point of to achieve wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So it works both ways. If she listen to I and I am speaking some filth, and she's honest to say, Ras Midas, what you're speaking is filth. And I say, explain to me what it is, why it is filth. And she explained to me, and I said, oh, yeah. I realize I'm speaking filth. Sorry that I'm speaking filth to you. Explain yourself to me, make I better more overstanding or understanding or understanding what you are saying. You know? Because, listen, reading is one, but understanding and overstanding and understanding is another. So that's why I continually read. I read I have books that I buy all 20 years ago and I don't read it yet. And sometimes I pick up a book and I start to read and I say, what? This book have this said some of the said ideas that I have and I never know that I have this book. So it is very important.
I think that the material that you read that come to you for a reason also. You don't happen to read a certain book or a certain novel, whatever it is. It's to teach you something, and if you are attentive, again, that's another power that you have to focus or to scope your attentive level, your attentive level. I think I can say it. I say it anyway. I don't want to use shun so much in my vocabulary. So your attentive level, yeah, that's it. No, very good. And now to go with our 5 hour drives, maybe we'll finish with that by 4. I have to stop this one at 4 p.m. because I have to be
Yes.
somewhere after. So,
Yeah.
okay. So the 5 hour drives, okay, that I put in the book. And one of the first forward, and forward, it's FORWORD, forward drives. The
Yes.
drive for change, okay? It's
Yes.
optimum. Make change for the gains, not for the losses. It's optimum to reshape how you may be thinking of your onward stride because so many beings fear change that we simply suppress the drive, yet doing so is harmful to our being. When we stop the pilot light of the drive for change, life feels the opposite of enlightening or energetic. Our world feels small, stagnant, and boring. We should feel the uplift stepping up to life. In a world void of change to look forward for, we on occurrences feel blasé. And that happened for many beings, they just feel blasé. Like, it's really the word I found. I think you use that word in English, blasé also.
What blase mean?
Blasé, like super bored, like just discouraged and blasé. I think it's a word you use in English. That's why I put it in there. I've heard people say that in English. I'm frick blasé, or maybe I'm wrong.
No, certain word in English I don't deal with it. You see, like the word bore,
Yeah, bored,
boring.
boring, and
People is just following people. As I said to you, sometimes you think it's boring, you feel boring. But sometimes your structure just need to relax and rest for certain activities. And we discriminate against it and say, oh, I'm feeling bored. Like some like you okay. Like you talking truth to a next human being. And when you don't want to listen to you, oh true man, what you're saying just let her feel boring. They are putting up a stopgap that they don't want to listen because you know what happened? When the truth hit the psyche and you become a victim of the truth, then you say, oh, I'm feeling boring. You know, that's how I see it. So we cannot feel bored, but what we can do is listen to our inner selves and to know that sometimes we need to take rest in certain activities that we are doing. And if I and I can really read the signs of time, allow ourselves to galvanize how nature works and live within the movements of how nature works or the sequence of how nature works, we will learn about ourselves. That is not every day you're going to wake up with the said energy, height of energy, because sometimes we are up and sometimes we are down. But being down don't mean to say, well, then it's bored. It means that your structure need time to relax from certain activities within ourselves.
that's a bit my sparker too. Is a bit what you resume a bit what you've said, and I put clarify, clear if I,
Yes,
clarify, clarify
yes,
your eternal state.
yes,
Think large, be bold. Like
ye-
that's a bit what it is. Because
yes.
insecurities plus the lack of opening to change aren't the only feelings that prevent individual from transforming their lives. For many, the drive for change stalls simply because they lack clarity plus vigilance.
Well, making change with yourself, you have to make an effort. You
An
know?
effort.
Yes, not
Oh, I like
effort.
that one. An effort.
Yes, you have to make an effort. You can make an effort.
Oh, I like that one.
You have to apply yourself to make change. You cannot talking about change and not applying yourself. Because because you what happened? A foolish man see dreams, but a wise man see visions. And vision is what you create. Vision is not what your dream. Vision is creativity. You have a vision inside of yourself, and you want to bring out that vision to reality. So while the foolish man sleep and have dreams, the wise man create visions. He see visions within himself. My vision that I see within myself, I put it within words and music. My music is my book. My music is my vision. So that people can listen to the vision that I have obtained from the cosmic energy of sound and music and words. That's why it is word, sound, and power. Power don't mean that you have strength and you're going to put your down press other people and so forth. Power is intelligence. Is the power of word, the intelligence of word. So when people is living in the swamp of Babylon, it is hard for them to make change. But change is up to the individual. I cannot make change for our next person. People can listen to all what we have to say in this session of reasoning. And if they find certain words of wisdom to it and can apply to themselves, happiness go with that. But I and I is not forcing our words, our reason on people. They have to make change for their own self. And if they can see the darkness that they are living in, it's up to them to pull themselves from the darkness and reach out for the light of consciousness, the light of spirituality, the light of truth, the light of love, the light of higher inner standing and overstanding and understanding, so they can make the necessary change to make their lives a better life so that they can correspond with other human beings in the world. And if all the positive light come together and start to shine, oh, what a big light. What a big light it would be. The consciousness of mankind would brighten up. There will be no darkness. There is no demo.
No demo. That's it.
No more demo.
Also, clarity. You talk about the light. I think the light is directly coherent with your level of clarity. Because
Yes.
if your existence is in clarity, things are clear for you. Me, the words are clear. I look out,
Yes.
it's clear. Like
Yes.
anything is clear for me, like crystal clear, and that because probably I embrace the light today in my life. A lot more than the vices, the sin, and the dark side. Like I'm trying to leave that behind, the life of sin and the life of darkness, to embrace the light and just be like, like meet,
Yeah.
not meet, but have great acquaintances with beings like you
You see the difference is,
and me and
I, you,
myself.
you, I,
The
you use a
acquaintance with
word
myself.
named sin. Sin. I
Yeah.
and I shouldn't use the word sin. Sin is religious bigotry.
Yes.
Sin is discriminating against a human being because they don't participate in your belief of superstition. You understand me? Because belief is superstition, you don't know. But when you have clarity, light, the clarity of light within yourself spark the intelligence within you so you can tap into your consciousness. So the fruit of your spirituality can rise to the higher heights and complete the man as a higher being.
So it's very, very interesting what you said. The sin. So I'm in sin if I'm in belief. I
Yes.
let go of my system of belief. There's no more sin there. Who's to say I'm a sinner? Because what? I drink a little beer once in a while. I smoke a little joint every day. Like
That's
I'm
why.
a sinner for that.
Yes, that's
Like
why it is written. Take the matter out of your eye first before you start to tell your brother that he has matter in his eye. You understand that?
very, very interesting. You just had to make me have an epiphany there with the belief and the sin stuff.
Yes, if you believe in sin, then a belief.
I always seen myself as a sinner. Not anymore. You
No,
just clarify it
no,
for me.
no. You didn't see yourself as a sinner. You
No, I
was
mean,
you was taught
yeah,
that you are a sinner.
exact. I was taught
Yes.
I was a sinner.
Yeah.
But you just make the whole thing very clear for me. It's only if you're stuck in their system of belief that you become a sinner because you're not. That's it. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Because plenty of time religious people come to me and talk about cleanse me from sin and all that. I say I don't have any sin.
And vices, and that's why then you have to be of service, sir. Vice, like the vice and the word, also the sin, like synergy, like we should have synergy. Like what is these
Yeah.
words?
Sin is human belief. There's
Oh,
nothing named sin. You
learn
know?
every day. If you want, you'll learn every day. Me, I
It's
want.
either you it's either you're negative or you're positive. It's two systems of nature that exist within human psyche. The energy of negativity and the energy of positivity. And if you can let your positivity overcome your negativity, that's what we are striving for. But I don't want no religious people. Listen, it's only in it's only in the religion of Christianity. It's only in the Christian world you hear about the word sin.
And again, the religious people are selling a lot the idea of eating flesh and blood. Also, pretty much in every religion, whether the religion there's flesh
Every
eating involved.
is only one religion I see around the world that they don't deal with blood, and it's Buddhism.
Oh,
You know? And listen, the original Buddha is from ancient Egypt. The original Buddha is Imhotep, the original Buddha. You know?
I have one there, Buddha.
Yes, Buddha,
Yeah.
the concept of Buddha and the concept of Melchizedek. That's what I deal with.
Me, I don't think that every beings walking, roaming the earth have followed the fashion of Babylon. Like some are, have a bit more clarity and see a bit more clearer than what Babylon have taught us. And again, it's to your ability to learn that is
Let I tell you what
clear.
happened.
Yeah,
Every religion around the world become part of Babylon because that's what Babylon do. Babylon engraft every spiritual concept and put it into their way of life. That's what they done. They manipulate it. So that's why I just deal with the philosophy. I can deal with the philosophy of Buddha. I can deal with the philosophy of Melchizedek and other great people around the world, you know, from ancient of days. So when a person come to I and I tell I say, well then, I must believe in this, I must believe in that. And I said to them, I don't deal with the word believe. I have to deal with what I know and what I see and what I understand and overstand. You know what they said to I? Oh, can you see the wind? I say I don't have to see the wind. I taste the wind because I take in the wind because the wind is part of the breath of life. So I don't have to see it because without the wind, I wouldn't be manifesting myself and living because I am part of the wind.
exact. That's your eternal state, the state of your the quintessence. The quintessence, you with the five elements, your essence with five elements, yeah. Very
Yes,
important.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
I think that's gonna be it for today, Rasmidas, because I have to leave the compound, the
Okay.
base. I have to leave my home base.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll give thanks for the
Give
reasoning. And
yes.
I hope that our listeners, or whoever listening, can get some thought of energy that they can go and look within themselves and study themselves and to see if they can acknowledge and find the truth within themselves. Because I am not telling people to accept what I said. Just go into yourself and see if you can find the truth within yourself. So
That's it.
just giving thanks and praise to each and every one. And I thank you also for the reasoning time we have here, Tru-Mon.
It's always an honor for me.
Yes, yes, yes,
Always an honor.
yes.
Truly an honor.
Yes, where two and three is gathered together, speaking word of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that's where the truth lies.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Rasmidas. Thanks everyone in the
Yes,
chat,
yes, yes,
the
yes.
ones watching live, if you watch after. And we will be forward again very soon. I'll talk to Nan to set the next one because we have to finish that book
Yes,
together.
yes.
We're at key number 13. I think it's going to be like maybe 4 or 5 part maybe about that book. We'll see how it goes. Listen, me,
Okay.
I'm in no rush, no stress, no agenda. We take it as we go on, and you are available. We do it, and me,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
always
yes.
delighted, and yeah, I'm always delighted to be with you and share.
Yes, yes. I am highlighted to be with the iron.
Yeah,
That's where
greatness.
it is.
So
Where
thanks.
two, where two light meet and shine is a brighter light.
Yeah, that's it. So large up, everyone. We're tubing out, and just set on the notification thing on the channel if you want to know when
Yes.
we are
Yes.
forward again. But I will publish it.
All right. Give thanks.
Give thanks. We're out.
Yes.
Boom. See ya.
Boom.